I would like to say, first of all, that this year we're celebrating the 75th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relationship between our two countries. And the level of relationship, I think, higher than ever. Of course, first of all, we're talking about the relationship between our two leaders, which give the impulse for all other areas of cooperation. A few years ago, our leaders set a target to reach $200 billion trade between our two countries. Last year, it exceeded $230 billion. And it's quite important that 90% of the trade is conducted in local currency, in yuan and ruble. And over the last 3 decades, China had a growth of around 9% per year, while the rest of the world had between 2 and 5%. And even last year, when they were talking about slowdown of growth, China made 5.5%, while the rest of the world did 3%. So I think China is facing these challenges and doing it quite successfully, and I very much believe that it will continue to be so. And China already is the #1 economic power. Now, I think that China is under a very substantial transformation of its economy from the mainly export-oriented to domestic consume economy. And I think that that's quite an important transition. How your leader mentioned, there's a new kind of the quality growth. So it means there's a more value-added production, there is a more technological production in many areas, and China is focusing now not on the industrial areas when it used cheap labor, for example, and produced very simple things. It's now more and more producing a very high quality and intelligent things, which employs such things as artificial intelligence, like big data and other things. So, of course, this transformation requires a certain kind of efforts and time, but I'm quite convinced that China is on the right track. Chinese economy benefited normally between 30 to 40% of the global economic growth, and I think it's still the major factor of the global economic growth. So I think China will continue to be and to play such an important role in the world economy.